Today we're seeing that within the insurance industry, where there's an emergence of many different things. It's new technologies, it's new demographics, it's new competitors, it's industries that have traditionally stayed outside of industry that are now coming into the industry. And all of that is converging at one time and creating a renaissance in insurance, where it's a really rebirth of the business of insurance, where new business models are emerging, and there are new opportunities emerging with new channels, new products, new services, and it's just an opportunity for a lot of innovation that's happening throughout the industry that really requires insurance companies to think, how are they going to strategically position themselves into this new future as this renaissance continues to unfold. Majesco is very involved in this renaissance, and in particular in the InsurTech movement. InsurTech is really developing some new MGAs and some new types of insurance companies that are really looking to process insurance and to do business in a very different way. What we see the opportunity from an InsurTech standpoint is multifold. First of all, we see it as a great opportunity to really kind of scan the landscape and understand the different types of technology companies that are emerging that have some point solutions that could easily integrate into our solutions, extend the capabilities, and add an element of innovation and an element of new capabilities for our insurance companies. Second of all, for many of our customers, they may not necessarily have the resources, both time and money, to be able to be involved in the InsurTech movement. And as a result, what we see is that we are their eyes and ears into that movement, and we're able to extend our knowledge and our access into that to our customers, and giving them access to some of the information, giving them access to some of the tech companies, and helping to really kind of scan that level playing field, so to speak, so that we can communicate and share that back with them. And then I think the third aspect is that as I talked about before, with managing general agents, the MGAs, and in new insurance companies, startups, they're looking at using their funding that they're getting from VC firms at building out new business models, at building out new products, at building out new processes. What they probably don't want to do is spend a lot of that capital on infrastructure or on core systems. The impact to the insurance value chain is just beginning to unfold, and as we've talked about it, and from our point of view, it's really a deconstruction of that value chain, where in the past, where insurance companies really had their strengths were in their brand, were in their agent channels, were in their products, and were in the underwriting based upon all the data that they had from a historical standpoint, or loss ratios, or demographic data that they had on their customers. They use that to be able to put product out to market, to do their marketing from a branding standpoint, to do their underwriting and their pricing and their product development. Today what we're seeing is that many of the new startups, whether it's an insurance company startup, an MGA, or a channel, or even a tech startup, they're basically taking parts of that insurance value chain and they're deconstructing it. So on the front end, we're seeing aggregators and compare sites. We're seeing new types of distribution channels with MGAs that are really going to market and reaching those new demographics, or reaching new market segments that insurance companies haven't traditionally reached. At the same time, you've got companies that are taking some of that distribution, but they're also bringing out new product, and they're pricing it and they're underwriting it differently, putting in radically different kind of processes and customer experiences. So customers like a Lemonade or a Haven Life, or a company like Surify, they're doing some very different things in that space, and they're really challenging kind of the traditional assumptions. So if you think about it, what may be left for traditional insurance companies is really the servicing, it will be the claims process, and maybe the reinsurance process. But that too is being disrupted because on the back end, from a service standpoint, there are TPAs that are looking at servicing. BPO could be doing doing some of that. You're looking at many of the reinsurers that are looking at investing in some of this, and maybe they're looking at having the capital that they could actually assume some of the risk. So the whole risk transfer aspect isn't necessarily from a individual or a business that's purchasing insurance to the insurer. It could actually go directly from the MGA or the distributor directly to the reinsurer, or even to the capital markets. And so there's really a disruption across the entire value chain that companies need to really focus on what are going to be their strengths and what are going to be their strategies to really compete in this very different kind of world where competition is at every point of the value chain. And how do we construct that value chain uniquely for that insurance company so that they can reach the markets they want, they can introduce the products and process the products and service those products to the customers that they want. So what we're seeing is that in many ways, insurers are taking alternative paths to this future. We continue to see insurance companies looking at business transformation, replacing their legacy systems with modern systems that allow them to be much more agile, allow them to be a little bit more innovative, and can get speed to market as it relates to new products to market quicker to those customers. But often that business transformation, there may be some views as to helping to really improve the processes, improve the operations, both from an efficiency and effectiveness standpoint. But it's really still looking at the same customers, the same products, the same business models that we've always done. Alternatively, we've got completely new startups and greenfields that are bringing out new business models. But we're also seeing existing insurance companies that are putting capital in, starting a completely new insurance entity that is going to reach possibly a new market segment, a new demographic. It's going to introduce a new product and is going to introduce new processes. And they have them side by side because in essence they're reaching different segments, they're reaching different markets, and they're offering different kinds of products. And what we're able to do, and what we've done with a number of startup and greenfield companies, is actually provide that platform for core insurance processing with a rapid launchability because it's pre-configured, it's got ready-to-use content, it's integrated with some of the other technology partners that we have, and we have it in the cloud so that it's really a pay-as-you-grow type of model that allows these insurtech startups to really kind of focus on the business, focus on the product, focus on their customers, and help to grow their business and not have to worry about that infrastructure. And what it allows those insurance companies to do is that it gives them multiple paths to the future, and alternative paths to the future to be able to compete, because we all don't really know how all of this is going to come together, but having those multiple paths allows you to kind of place your bets, so to speak, on the future and be able to capture new customers, new market segments, introduce new products while you're still serving the existing customers that still want probably the products and services that you offer today. So as you begin to think about all of those, you begin to say, okay, where do you start? What are the aspects that you want? Some are going to start on the digital front end. How do they create a different kind of experience with the existing products and services that they have? Others are going to do the business transformation, and yet others may be starting up a new insurance company or an MGA or something like that that can reach new kinds of segments of customers, and they can actually go out and work with it. What we're committed to from a Majesco standpoint is making sure that our customers, that we can support any of those choices with our capabilities that we have, through the partnerships that we have, and through the involvement in the InsurTech community with our involvement in Silicon Valley Insurance Accelerator, the Global Insurance Accelerator, many of the different events, and working and talking to, whether it's the VCs, the private equity, the startups, other insurers, reinsurers, whoever it is in that community, talking to them and understanding so that we can understand what it is that we need to do so that as our customers expect us to be a strategic partner, we can deliver to them the kinds of capabilities and the kinds of options that they're going to need to be able to meet and exceed the expectations in the future for their customers.